It had been quite a life. The Loray Mill's lifespan had so far survived 3 strikes and the Great Depression, 2 world wars, a space race, a Cold War, and the commencement of the computer age, before she reached old age and was no longer able to care for herself. It was in 1993 that the mill was abandoned by Firestone for newer and more modern facilities in Kings Mountain, just a few miles away. They are there to this day. But as Firestone moved on, it meant the end of an era, and things at the old mill were never to be the same again.
Since the mill has been left standing all these years, the current generation of Gastonians has no real recollection of that mill and what it meant to the economy. It's almost as if this new generation asks of us, what did that mill used to do?
It's a symbol of who we are. It's kind of like our soul. Gastonia was built on the textile business. And so to lose that symbol of our soul, it would have been horrible to have lost it.
The Great Loray Mill, its spindles and looms removed, the doors locked, was sentenced to what would become 20 years of solitary confinement.
There was a lot of heartbreak involved. The fact that the major part of the mill was closed. And there was frankly some sense that the mill would eventually come down.
Another generation would know the mill only as a landmark, an aging companion to the community that had represented the past, not the future, and had stood empty for as long as any of them could remember. By 2001, the Great Loray Mill, now on life support, was about to have the plug pulled. But as she celebrated her 101st birthday, there were champions that would come to her aid.
The mill has been, up to now, to this point in time, an opportunity for Gastonia, an opportunity to save, without doubt, its most prominent historical building in Gastonia, Gaston County, and to create, with that saving of that building, a catalyst for new development and an economic development in the western part of Gastonia.
Back in 2005, I was living in Atlanta, and John Gumpert called me and said, I've got our next project for us. I said, great, John, where's our next project? And he says, it's in Gastonia, North Carolina. And my first question to him was, where's Gastonia, North Carolina?
So we met the owner of the mill here, took a 20-minute tour through the building, and I told the owner, we'll do it. And he looked at me like, you gotta be kidding me. I said, no, we'll get it done. Didn't know how, but knew there was an opportunity. And from that point on, we've been working on the mill. That was probably 9 years ago.
This building was built 112 years ago. And when it was built, it created a city. And the surrounding mill village, with all its homes, was the community that you lived in. When the factory shuts down, it deflates the entire community. What we hope happens, and we've seen this in the past, is that this rejuvenates, re-energizes this side of town.
I love old buildings like this. I love taking buildings that are dormant, ready to be torn down, and turn them into something that's productive. I love seeing the neighborhoods revitalized. I love being able to say, hey, I played a role in that.
We want this to become a city center. We want this to be a destination location. This is why we've designed it in such a way where we're not cutting it off from the community, but inviting the community to be part of it. We've got a lot of common area space, we've got a lot of commercial space, and we're marketing this to the commercial tenants that will attract outside vendors.
I think there's something that we haven't quite gotten across in this project development. Most people think of this new development as a project that will change West Gastonia. That is absolutely true. But this project is larger than anything we have ever seen in Gaston County. It's going to transform Gastonia as a city, and it's going to transform this county. We're going to have people coming from all over the country and all over the world to see this project. It's going to do more for Gastonia than any project ever has in its history. It's the realization of a great dream that many of us have had for many years. And it's a symbol of hope, a symbol of aspiration, something we believed would draw people in and would make our city and community more vibrant, and now we see that it has indeed done just that. This is what we always intended, and this is what we are so thankful for.